All right, it's February, and that means that it's time. Actually, it's well into February. Today's the 13th, February 13th. I don't know exactly when this video will come, but it will not be in the next day or so. But it's February, and that means that it's time for me to do my January sales, my eBay sales. And how did I do this month? Well, I know I've been saying that I'd like to do at least $2,000 a month on eBay. And so far, I haven't been doing $2,000 a month. This month might be. It might happen because I'm having better sales this month. But I'm listing my little Tukis off. So that might be making the difference. Plus, Marie's listing a lot. But January. How was January? Well, according to eBay, I made 35 sales in January, which seems to be my normal amount of sales. Every year I do about 400 or so sales. So I didn't do an exceptional amount of sales. How much did I sell the items for? Well, I didn't have a lot of big sales. Most of my sales were smaller. Actually, my two biggest sales were in the $100 and a little over $100 range. I'm a little sick. I may be sniffling. My voice may sound a little roughish. Just in case you're wondering. I got a cold. Anyway, my total for the month was not 2,000. It was not even anywhere near 2,000. So I'm starting off January on the weak side, not starting off very strongly. I sold $1,245.69 worth of stuff in January. All right, let's just go through and see what I sold and see if there's anything really interesting or unusual I sold this month of January. My first sale was a pair of Art Deco dress clips, and they had multicolored rhinestones, kind of pretty. We got $32.99 for these. Obviously, Marie put these to auction. She almost always runs all her jewelry to auction. I don't run my stuff to auction. I just do buy it nows mostly. But these were listed since October 29th, 2018. So they weren't listed very long. $32.99. These were not signed. They were just pretty. Somebody who wanted dress clips that look like these. $32.99. Not bad, right? I don't know what we paid for them. That's something Marie bought. Fabergé. That's my next sale. Fabergé Straw Hat Cologne Extraordinaire Splash, 1 fluid ounce. Fabergé, older colognes do sell well. Straw Hat is one that I imagine is not in production anymore. Don't know. I don't believe it is. This was a small bottle, 1 fluid ounce, sold for $25. Not bad. I don't believe I would pay more than $5 or something like this. How long did I have it listed? About a year. January 24th, 2018. So that would be almost a full year. You'll notice as I go through the items that I'm selling, I sell a lot of perfumes and I sell a lot of colognes. Mostly because I was listing a lot of perfumes and Marie likes to list jewelry. I've been listing other items this month, last month, whatever. So now you're going to start to see more varied items that I'd be selling. All right, more jewelry. Large pendant, vintage sign Accessocraft gold tone pin pendant. $22.99. Not a lot of money. Might have been something we had at the flea market and we're not able to sell. Marie had this listed since October 29th, 2018. So again, maybe about 4 months or so, a little bit less. $22.99, not very impressive, but something that we could not have sold at the flea market for more than $5 to $8. And there's a good chance she had it at the flea market and did not sell. Most likely the reason it sold was a combination of both. Actually, there's nothing really that she just said Accessocraft. That's probably the word that sold it, that the fact that it was signed. All right, my next item. And, you know, I didn't make my first sale in January until the 5th of the month. So the sales that I'm giving you now happened between, starting after the 5th. So I had 5 full solid days of January where nothing was going on. And I should have had sales because I turned my store back on when I was coming back to Florida, from Florida at that time. And so I don't believe the month was shorter. I just think it wasn't very good. All right, my next sale, another large bottle, vintage Hobegant Chantilly Eau de Cologne Splash in a 7.75 fluid ounce bottle. That's almost as large as like a Coke or something. $32.99. I think I know not to pay a lot for these because shipping would be a lot on an item like this, especially if it went to California. I could possibly pay like, I don't know, maybe as much as $12 or $15 to ship this if it were going to California. So I don't believe I got to try and remember not to pay more than $5 for something like this, because when all is said and done, between what I paid, eBay fees, and shipping, I probably have about like $25 into this, which might only leave about $7 or so, maybe $8 to $10 in profit, depending on where it's shipped to. But there it is, another perfume. I don't like to buy these big, huge bottles of perfume. Another thing, when you're shipping perfume, you're only allowed to ship perfumes, I believe it's up to 16 ounces. Anything over that, and the post office doesn't allow you to ship it, but they usually don't make perfumes that large. Anyway, I mean, there are some, but usually they don't. All right, next piece of jewelry that we sold. All right. It's this vintage pale yellow and green plastic bead fringe bib necklace and earring set. There might be a name for this stuff. Marie might know it now. Before that, she didn't know it. She might have found it recently. But we had this on since December, not very long. It was a good till canceled, and it was December of 2018. So basically, it sold about a month later. Let's see, December 10th. Yeah, about a month later. $39.99. It sold on the 9th of January. What sold it? I guess her description. Pale green plastic bead fringe bib necklace and earring set. More jewelry. If you like jewelry, look for unusual items like this. Your only problem when selling things like that is the fact how to make it stand out on eBay. So you got to use a good title, keywords, and photos help a lot. I forgot to check. Let me just see when I listed that. No, I didn't even list that. Okay, the Hobegant, that big bottle of cologne, I only listed in November of last year. So it wasn't even on for very long at all. All right, so that's 5 items down, 30 to go. Let's see. Living the Good Life commented on how she never realized these vintage multi-stone horse fetish necklaces with heishi beads, or I think it's pronounced heishi, sell. And they sell for decent money sometimes. We only sold this one for $52.99. We could have gotten more. And also because like the horse ones you don't really see. You don't see the horse beads so much. The reason Marie only made it $52.99, and it wasn't even listed that long, October of 2018. You could see we must have listed a lot of stuff in October 2018, and that stuff was selling. But the reason it only sold for $52.99 was because I think some of the horses were damaged. I'm going to read very quickly. 3 of the horses had chipped ears, and 1 had a chipped tail. So that was like 4 with damage. Again, if you see these with a lot of the heishi beads, the fetish ones, they can sell for $7,500 or more, depending on how many beads and whatever. The ones that only have 1 or so beads don't sell for very much, depending on how nicely it's carved. But that's an unusual item for us to sell, or that most people may not know about. So maybe I told you something. Don't know. Next sale, it seems to be like jewelry cologne this month. So that means like I listed the colognes, Marie listed jewelry. Here is a Jessica, not Jessica, not a word, not a name. Jessica McClintock, eau de perfume spray lot, 2, 3.4 full fluid ounces, and it was full, and 1.7 fluid ounces, and it was also full. I was able to get $42.99 for the 2 eau de parfums. These were listed quite a while. I had to wait. On these. April 6th, 2015. Only 3.5 years, right? Not too bad. I've had some sales that have taken 10 years. But an oddball perfume. I never found it again in the 3.5 years that I was listed. Must be kind of rare. Still doesn't sell for a lot of money. This is another one of Marie's sales. I don't know if you've seen these things, but this is a signed Maya Evangelista sculpted resin mirrored compact. They're starting to show up, float around. They look very antique. They look very primitive, but they're not. They're made out of resin, which is like a plastic. This one sold for $24.99, which isn't a lot of money. I believe we sold. I had bought these off a friend of mine. I believe I paid $5 a piece. I believe I bought like 6 of them, and I believe I paid $30 for the 6. Marie was like, "Why are you buying this?" I was like, "No, these are sell." And I think we did sell them anywhere from $25 to $35. The thing is, you don't want to pay more than $5 for these because they don't sell quickly. This was listed for, about 2 years. October 30th, 2017. So that's 2 years. And we had them a little bit longer. Tried to sell them at the flea markets, like 10 or so. And this was it was very rustic looking. The mirror looked like it had a little bit of corrosion on it. Whatever. But $25. The good thing about this is it was able to ship first class, and that was last year when first class was cheaper. Now to ship something like this would probably be $4 or $5. It probably shipped at $3 to $4 last year. But my advice, if you see them for $5, pick them up. I've seen them in the antique showcase where I have a showcase, and some other places for $20 to $35. Unless you want to keep it, don't buy it. You're not going to make any money on it. What helped this sell? Well, it was signed by a designer, Maya Evangelista, and apparently people collect her stuff. All right, here's another piece of jewelry. Now it seems like we had a run of jewelry. And this is a vintage brutalist. It was signed, Miracle Silver Tone Necklace with purple glass accents. I guess Marie didn't know who it was signed by. It says signed, right? Well, it was signed. Pretty neat, kind of nice. Didn't get a lot of money for it, $32.99. What helped sell this? Well, it had a pretty cool design. It was lovely. It would look lovely on someone's neck. And actually, it was signed Miracle. So signed Miracle, made by a company called Miracle. Only $32.99. Still not bad. Don't know what we paid for it. But that was Marie's purchase. If Marie were here, I would ask her, and she would probably go, "I don't remember," because we buy so much stuff. Anyway, sold another pair of those cufflinks. Quick update, quick recap on the cufflinks. Friend of ours sold me about 400 of them, or something like 500, maybe 600 of them, for about $900. Maybe there was 700. I don't even know. But I paid, and then I met a cufflink person. He said he wanted to buy a bunch. I gave him a really awesome price. He didn't buy it. We weren't selling them quickly enough at the flea markets, so we decided to put them on eBay. Put them all on eBay, $16.99. Every month I sell at least a couple of pair. So there. This month I sold at least one pair. And like I said, didn't pay a lot for them. And $16.99. So on every sale, I probably make about $8, because shipping fees, eBay fees, and what I did pay for them. Well, here's a non-jewelry related item and a non-perfume related item. This is a vintage Reed & Barton Harlequin sterling silver salt spoon. $20. Who cares? No big deal. Makes you say, I guess I can't pay more than $5 for something like this. I didn't even sell it. Like, you would think something like this would be worth $30, maybe $35 on eBay, but it's not. $20. I haven't been checking up. This is another good to cancel. I've been paying attention. I'm just saying if it was an auction or not auction, I should start paying attention to that. I will try to do that as I keep going. All right, December 5th, 2018 was not listed very long. Somebody must have needed it right away. It's actually a very small spoon. Nothing special. It was somebody must have needed it. Reed & Barton Harlequin sterling silver salt spoon. If you see these out in the field for a few dollars, say like maybe $5 at most, go for it. All right, here's a piece of glass that I sold. I've started listing more glass. That's the kind of stuff that I don't like listing so much lately because shipping is expensive. I just shipped a vase to Oklahoma, and I'm in New Jersey, and I packed it, brought it to the post office, and it was $16 to ship this vase. $16. That's a lot of potential profit just blown just to get it from here to there. That's a lot of money, $16 to ship anything. You know, I don't like paying more than like $7 for shipping stuff because most stuff isn't worth that much. But fortunately, that particular vase was worth $100, and I sold it for $100. So in that case, there was plenty of room to make profit. But this vase was very light and small, so I shipped it first class. Probably shipped it for about $5. This was a vintage Fenton, French opalescent, diamond optic, melon bud vase, perfume bottle. It was actually a perfume bottle, and it was missing a stopper. So I said bud vase or perfume bottle because you could use it as a bud vase. There's no rules on the bottom. It doesn't say on the bottom, do not use this as anything other than a perfume bottle. Who knows? Maybe somebody had the stopper and wanted to pair it up. You can get more for it if you do have the stopper, or maybe somebody just needed it for their house. $24.99, no big deal. And this was actually an older antique piece of glass. Well, let me just check quick. And wow, this was not listed long. January 10th, 2019 is when I listed it. It wasn't an auction. Good till cancel. So it sold within the month, which doesn't happen very often, especially when I do buy it nows. All right. So next, back to jewelry. Micro mosaic. These are two. Well, it was vintage Italian floral micro mosaic 2-pin brooch lot. Two nice vintagey older pins. You can tell by the back these are older ones. Very small, about the size of a quarter each. Kind of nice. Now, Marie sold these for $29.99. And I guess she tried them at auction for $25 and they didn't sell because this was a good to canceled sale. September 18, 2018, not very long. Maybe 3 or so months it took to sell. I don't know. Most of these don't pay more than $5 to $10 for. Most of them. The larger ones you can pay more. I see them at flea markets. People want 10 to 20 a lot of times, and we don't buy them. I think I went to the Wayne Powell with Marie, and someone had some, and I was like, how much are those? They're like 20 each. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. Not going to buy them. I also had the micro mosaic bracelets. I'm like, ooh, how much are those? $60. Oh, thank you. Not going to buy them. Too much money. Not worth listing. But again, $5 a piece. They sell for like 20 to 30 online for the small, not special ones. Okay, here's something. Another piece of jewelry. But these are those enamel souvenir pins. This is a vintage New York City enamel souvenir panel bracelet. It was 7.5 inch long, which is a good size. How long do we have it listed? Not very long. January 14th. There's a truck going by. I don't know if you can hear that. January 14th, 2019. Which means, and it was good to cancel, which means we listed to auction. It didn't sell. Unless she just straight up put it in the store. I mean, sometimes if we figure, I tell Marie, if you know exactly how much something is worth, don't put it to auction. It's a waste of time. It delays people. People just want to buy stuff now. They'll pay more. They will literally pay more just to buy it right away and not have to wait. But anyway, it was a buy it now. $29.99. My advice, don't pay more than $8 to $10 for these. Maybe you can get more for nicer ones. Definitely if they were sterling. This one was not sterling. But if you can get this $5, $8, maybe if you feel like spending $10. These enamel souvenir bracelets do sell in the $25 to $30 range on eBay very easily. All right, moving on. All right, this is an interesting item. This is a pair of Chrysler Dodge Mopar Super B advertising dealer enamel cufflinks. I got $105 for these little things. Pretty cool. I saw them at a flea market, and I was in Florida. And the person had cufflinks on the table. I'm like, hey, how much are the cufflinks? And they had 2 pair. These are the ones I was interested in. They were like, oh, $3 each. I'll go $5 for the 2. So I was like, what the hell? I thought these were cool. Little did I know. I didn't even know these were Chrysler Dodge Mopar Super Bs. Not into cars. I don't know that stuff. So I made a video. I showed them on eBay, and somebody says, those are the Dodge Super B. That's what they said, basically. Dodge Super B cufflinks. I'm like, oh, cool, thank you. You know, because it saved me a little time, saved me a little bit of research. We ran these to auction. I don't remember what we started at. Oh, yeah, we started at $69.99, $70. I thought that they would sell for about $100, so they did sell $105. This was the biggest ticket item I sold in January. $105, 5-day auction. If you ever see anything like this, it's highly collectible. There's actually a cuff, what do you call it? A tie clasp that goes with this, or a tie bar. I don't really know, one or the other. And if I had those, I might have put it on eBay for a buy it now of $200. And somebody was like, do you have a buy it now? And I'm like, nah, we're going to let it run because, you know, whenever somebody wants to buy it, they go, you have a buy it now? And they already had bids. It's like they want it for like cheap. You know, let them fight for it. And the guy that did ask me about the buy it now, he won the bid. All right, but that's the most unusual item, I believe, that I sold this month. I don't think I sold anything more unusual to these. And these are the kind of things that you just, if they had said like $10, I wasn't going to buy these because I'm dumb. I don't know everything. But at $3, whatever. You know, a lot of people, even if they say $3, they wouldn't buy them because people are cheap. You know, there's a siren going by now. I don't know. I don't know if you can hear all these background noise. I live in a very urbanized area. I am not in a soundproof room. I'm basically sitting on my easy chair doing this now. So every once in a while you'll hear noises, but you know, I don't have really great software to edit that stuff out, so it's staying in. Even editing for me is a pain. I don't even have a microphone stand. I'm holding a microphone in my hand, and every once in a while I have to stop and I'll edit that out because my elbow starts hurting. And I'm going to do that now. My fingers start to go numb. Anyway, I'm going to do that now. Yeah, don't worry. I'll edit that part out. It's me just like stretching my fingers and stuff. All right, next item to sell. Back to jewelry. Even the cufflinks were jewelry, actually, but they were the most unusual jewelry that I did sell this month. MMA jewelry does sell. Not for tons of money, usually. But if you're happy with $20 to $35 sales, you know, put MMA stuff on eBay. And when I say MMA, I mean vintage MMA, Metropolitan Museum of Art Gold Tone Heralding Angel Pin Pendant. $29.99. How long did I have that listed? Another truck. December 28th. Good till canceled, so it probably ran to auction, did not sell. 2018 December, not very long. Nothing else I can tell you about it. Kind of a neat looking pin. MMA jewelry does sell. I don't know if people specifically collect MMA jewelry, or they just, or maybe it's partly the reason they bought it. All right, here's an unusual piece of jewelry. All right. Some of these sell for good money. This is a vintage Norwegian, or Norway, 830S, which is a silver grade. Heart and crown, and it's called a Soul J pin, unless the J is pronounced like an H or something. Could be Soul Hay. I'll just say Soul J pin, brooch, and it's artist sign JK. I don't know if we figured out. Did we figure out who the J? Oh, yeah. Johns Christensen. Now, see, I would have put, actually, it's not Johns, it's Johs. Jaws. Joe's? Jaws? Joe? Maybe it's Joe. Maybe the H and the S is, maybe the S is silent. I don't know. Jos Christensen with a K, like Hans Christian Andersen, maybe? I don't know. I digress. Now, if I had listed this, I would have put the artist name in the title, but Marie decided not to for some reason. Maybe she didn't have enough words. I would have left out the word vintage, I'll tell you that much. But whatever. $50. Could we have gotten more? I don't know. We ran it to auction. We didn't. Good till canceled. But it's an unusual piece of jewelry. If you ever see these, they do sell. And I think someone asked me about it on like a YouTuber. I don't know. And I knew I could get a certain amount for it, but I tried to make it reasonable, but whatever. Not everything sells. It's pretty cool though, right? If you ever see anything that looks like this, that's what it is. If you can memorize, it's SOLJE pin. All right. I'll forget this immediately. Like later on in the video, I might test myself and say, what was that? It was a soldier. You know what I'll do? I'll do Soldier Boy, Soul J Boy. That's how I'll remember it. I'll be, what was that pin's name? Soul J Boy, after Soldier Boy. All right. Next sale, more jewelry, micro mosaic. But this one was a nice one and very unusual. It was a scabbard. 8 antique, 800, silver, Italian micro mosaic sword, scabbard, pin brooch. All right. Normally you don't see these in silver. Normally these are made in the 50s and 60s. And they have like a copper back or something like that, or they have like a pot metal. You rarely see these in any grade of silver. And this one was a sword, and it was complete. It had everything. That's why we got $100. That was the second most expensive thing I sold this month. $100, not bad, right? Did we have it listed very long? Yeah, kind of. About a year. No, 2 years. October 7th, 2017. So 2 years. 2 years to make $100. But you know what? So what? Better than this, I don't know, the stock market. Better than what they pay on the banks interest-wise. So whatever. If I got to wait 2 years to make $100 on something that I probably paid $10 to $20 for, whatever. I'll do it. All right, our next item is another perfume. Fame Decor Day, Paris, France, number 500, Eau de Toilette Splash, 2 fluid ounces, 80% full. And that's something you should note. These colognes don't have to be full. This was actually a small little bottle, either shipped first class or ground, $32.99, not a shabby sale. Anything over $20, $30, that's a happy sale for me on eBay. It went to a zero feedback buyer. They might have signed up to eBay just to buy it off me. Start time, December 12, 2018, listed about a year. Just another perfume. If you notice, all the perfumes that I list are vintage. They're not new ones. You know, new perfumes. I just had an experience with a perfume. What was that? Ralph Lauren. It's not even a very expensive bottle of perfume. The guy gets it. He goes, yeah, it's not legit. I'm sending it back. And I go, no problem. I understand. Send it back. Pay for shipping and everything. You know, I'll give you the money when I get it. But who the hell is going to fake a Fame Decor Day? Nobody. That's why I don't like doing new perfumes. And also, there's always a lot of guys. There's always some guy or some seller that somehow managed to get his hand on like hundreds of the bottles of it. And they're selling them for like stupid cheap, you know? So I say, if you're going to go perfume, the older, the better. All right. Vintage, more jewelry. Vintage 925 necklace with pink crystal and pressed glass Rhodes beads. It was 18 to 19 inches long. We started it in November 8th of 2018, which means it wasn't listed very long. And we got $25.99 for it. It was a good to cancel, buy it now. So if we ran it to auction, it didn't sell at auction. What can I say about it? Nothing special other than it is what it is. Marie's title sold that necklace. Whatever the words that she said, well, it was 925, and I guess pink crystal and pressed glass rose bead. She said the color of the beads and it was 925. Other than that, don't know why somebody must have just saw it, found it, and liked it. Next sale, glass, Fenton. Fenton pretty much is almost always a good seller. But I'll let you in on a secret when it comes to Fenton. I personally think the newer stuff sells better than the older stuff. Now, because the older stuff, they ask like a lot of money. But most people like the stuff, like the little tchotchke ones. People like cats and animals. And on the newer stuff, they did a lot of pressed animals, figural ones. And then they hand painted them and hand signed them with artists. Now, this fish is an older one, but it's not very old, right? But it only sold for $38.99. I can sell some of the little cats and even some of the teeny. Fenton make these little teeny glass figurines of animals. They sell for like 25 or 30. So you would think this would sell for more, but it didn't. But $38.99, which means if you can pay like $10 or so for this at a flea market or house or estate sale, you'll make about $15 or so profit, you know, because $10, shipping's probably $10, $20 right there. eBay fees on $40 is $8. So if you pay $10, yeah, you make like, I don't know, you don't even make that much, but whatever. You made like maybe $12 or some profit. But still, if you can get it cheap, buy it. That's my advice. Don't pay a lot for almost anything. Unless you know it's really good and you'll make a lot on it. Oh, and this wasn't listed very long, September 2018. I mean, that's my advice. Just most stuff, there's so many fees, and then you have to do all this work to sell it, that it's most stuff you can't even pay like $5 for. That's when you go to these places and you're like, how much is that? Estate sales are 20, 30, 40, 50. It's like, but I'm out. You know, unless I can sell it at a flea market and double my money. Like here's a vintage 5-strand Aurora Borealis crystal graduated bead necklace, 14 to 17 inch long. And in case you don't know what graduated beads are, it doesn't mean they went to school and they graduated. Graduated beads are just beads that go from smaller to larger. So they're graduated in size. $32.99. Again, the title sold this, just graduated, Aurora Borealis, keywords, stuff like that. This wasn't listed very long, like 6 months or so, July 2018. $32, which means you really shouldn't pay more than, if you're going to sell it on eBay for a reasonable price, you really shouldn't pay more than, say, like $8, you know? My advice on something like that. Because, again, $32.99, $8, shipping, say, like $5. So that's $13, right? eBay fees, $6, say, or I'll even say $5. So that's $18, and you almost doubled your money, you know, after fees and whatever. And you got to do some work. I bought these a long time ago. This is these Lennox. I actually bought these. They came in a display case. And I bought the whole display case. I think there was like 25 of them or something like that. And I think I paid like 80 or $100 for it. But I was able to sell these in the $30 to almost $40 range. Maybe some for 25. But they're light. They all shipped first class, so shipping wasn't that bad. This one is one of the... I don't have a lot of these left. This is one of the last ones I'm selling. I might have one or two more. But this was a Lennox All-American Tweety Bird S05 Looney Tunes 4th of July figurine. I think the reason I decided not to sell this as a set, because if I had sold it as a set on eBay, I could have sold it for like $300. I paid $100, and I could have sold it for like $300, I guess, right? And I guess I didn't buy that many. Maybe I bought like 12 or 14. But the reason I didn't do that was because I didn't have the whole set. It came in a display, and some of them were missing. So, but anyway, if you see these little Tweety figurines, and they're like $5 or so, they do sell on eBay. This is something that sells. You know, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't sell that you'll buy. but this does sell. So if you see them $5 or so, maybe 8 at most, put it on. How quickly do they sell? Yeah, not real quickly. I bought this, man, October 6th, 2015. So that was 4 years ago. Now, I did buy other ones, and some of the other ones sold quicker, but still, 4 years, man. That's a long time to wait to get your money back. And that's one of the things people don't understand when people like myself, with what we do. You buy stuff, and it doesn't just sell. I don't buy something and sell it tomorrow. You know, I didn't buy this glass vase, and then on the weekend I took it out and I immediately sold it, so I immediately doubled or tripled or more my money. Nah, lots of stuff I buy can take weeks, months, years, or I could break it and or it never sells. So that's, you know, it's not everything you buy sells. It's not all profit, you know. But moving on. All right, I'll tell you why this sold, because it was Miriam Haskell. People collect Miriam Haskell pretty damn hard. And this was even as is. Vintage signed Miriam Haskell pin, earring, necklace, jewelry lot as is. Only $24.99. Now you go, wow, that's pretty damn cheap. As is. Can't sell as is stuff for top dollar. This had some wear to the brassing and stuff. It wasn't even a really lovely set. Yeah, edge wear, gold color was worn off. There were spots on the faux pearls. Coating was worn off on some of the earrings. As is. $24.99. Still sold. Good till canceled. So I don't know if we ran it to auction or not. She probably ran it to auction for $20, didn't sell. So I'm like, I'll just make it 25. January 20, 2019, sold within the month. I mean, signed jewelry, signed jewelry, signed jewelry, signed jewelry. You can get signed jewelry cheap. Almost all of it will sell. All right, here's an unusual item. People do collect bottle openers. Most times you don't get a lot for them. This one, I didn't get a lot for, but I did get $21.99. And when I say you don't get a lot from, I'm talking like 15 to 20 or so like that. But that's still good. You know, if you can pick them up at yard sales for $1 or so and then make that $20. Well, if you only pay $1 for something like this, and this, I think I might have paid $1. I don't remember. Or my mom gave it to me. I don't even know. Might have got for free. But say I saw it and I paid $1 for it, right? Well, then I listed it, and it took a few months to sell, right? But when it sold for $21.99, say my eBay fees are $4, so now I'm in $5, right? Say my shipping was $5, so now I'm in $10, $12 profit. Not bad. 1 to 12. Where are you going to do that? 12 times your money. I had to do a little bit of work, though, but it wasn't a lot. You know, a couple of pictures here and there. Relatively quick description. If you don't mind, though, listing things that don't sell for a lot of money, like bottle openers, it's something that you can buy and sell. And you sell them $15, $20, whatever. It's an honest, reasonable profit, considering when you do work. Now, if people say $5 for stuff like that, don't buy it. They're not worth it. You don't make enough on them. All right, back to colognes. Here's a Puig. I'm going to say Puig. Quorum aftershave splash, 1.7 fluid ounces, 50 millimeters, 75% full. When I bought this, did I know it'd be worth much money? Nah. I probably paid a few dollars for it. $19.99, which means I didn't make much on it. Hopefully I didn't pay $5 for it. Because if I paid $5 for it, then I probably made $5 on it. And it only took me 4 years to sell. February 20, 2015. I don't mind listing colognes and perfumes. So I used to have the perfect set for it. But I changed my set because now I'm listing other stuff. Marie needed a different set. So I changed my perfect set. I got to rework it a little bit. I need another light, and then it'll be pretty damn good again. But I used to have a perfect set for cologne. It was very easy for me to list. But whatever. I still don't mind listing cologne. It's easy. I know how to ship it. Blah, 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 blah. All right, here's a Lagerfeld. Oh, boy, the story behind this one. All right, so I sell this Lagerfeld. It's only listed for about a year, a little bit less, right? And I sell it. And I actually made a video complaining about this. So this dum-dum buys it, and then starts telling me how I said that this was a spray and how I was ripping them off. They thought they were getting an awesome deal, blah, 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 blah. It only sold for $26.99, right? And they're making me feel like I'm an idiot because I wrote spray, and I'm looking all over, and I'm like, no, I didn't, right? So I do checking, blah, 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 and I'm like, no, nowhere. And I say to them, I say, look, are you sure it's me? Because I didn't say it at all. And they're very convinced that I told them it was. But then what happened was they were watching an item that they didn't even buy. They buy my item, right? And then they tell me mine splash. I think they were basically trying to get it for free. They thought that I'd be like, no, don't send it back. But I'm like, screw that crap. Nobody's doing that crap to me. If you say there's something wrong with it, you don't want it, you're sending it back. There was even a guy now who's bought a cologne from me, right? And he goes like this. He goes, I bought the wrong. It's not legit. It's fake, right? But don't worry, I'm gonna keep it. I'll teach myself a lesson that I shouldn't be so cheap and try and buy stuff for cheap and blah blah blah. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Just send it back. I'll give you your money back if you say it's fake, right? And so he took me up on it, right? But I think again, what they were hoping was that I would say, oh, my screw up, you just keep it. But I tell people like this. See, a lot of times, someone would be like, well, why do you want it back? I told you it's fake. What, you don't believe me? Right? You think I'm lying to you? You think I'm trying to get over? You think I'm a bad buyer? Look at my feedback. It's all good, right? But what I tell people, which gives me a reason to want it back, is say, oh, don't worry. Send it back. I'll refund and everything because I know who I bought it from. And I can go to the guy and he'll make it right. He'll give me all my money back and he'll even compensate me and give me something else in its place where I can make the same amount of money, blah, 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 blah. So now they're like, oh, he really wants it back. And then they have to send it back. Because this other person, I'm like, send it back. Send it back. I'll relist it. I don't care. So and you know what happened with them? They didn't send it back. They kept it. They were just, I'm telling you, they were fishing. They wanted for cheap. And they started the process and everything. eBay goes like this. If they don't send it back by February 4th, I think it was, we'll step in and we may just refund, cancel her request return. Well, eBay was very nice to them. They gave them an extra week or so before they just said, oh, screw it, we're going to cancel a return, right? But yeah, they didn't send it back. Now, this guy, though, is the new guy I talked about. He is sending it back. So what I'm going to do when I get it is I'm going to take it to a flea market and just put it on the table. If someone likes the smell, I'll take like $5 or $10 for it. Or I'll just, I don't know, use it or give it away, whatever. I can't put it back on eBay if someone says it's fake, you know? Oh, and I have to remember probably to block this person. I don't think I have yet, but I will. Don't worry, you're getting blocked. If you didn't know it, that's what's going to happen. This is a cool little, again, antique Fenton. Now, I could have sold this for more money because I had two of these, and I actually did sell one for almost twice as much as this. But this thing had damage. But for $39.99, which is what I sold it for, I didn't even have it listed too long. I bought this at I bought this off this lady at Clark High School. She had two of them, and I didn't even see the second one at first. The stoppers had all chips on them. This one had a crack in it, the bottle, and actually one of the stoppers was better, and one of the bottles were better. So I took the better stopper and I put it in the better bottle, and the better stopper wasn't even that great. And I took the worst stopper with the bottle that had the crack, and I put them together, and I got $40 for it. Not bad. It wasn't even listed that long. But this was a Fenton Art Glass Cranberry Opalescent Hobnail perfume bottle with stopper. My advice: don't pay more than $10 for these, unless they're pristine. If they're pristine and perfect, $20 easy, maybe $25. I think I'm going to show the description on this one because. Well, the way it had so much damage, it just had all problems. I'll show some of the extra pictures too. But still, I did, even stuff with damage, $40. They like cranberry glass. I like cranberry opalescent, so whatever. If you do see these and they're pristine, though, don't be afraid to pay $20 to $25 because I did sell another one that wasn't even pristine for like $70-something. Buy it now, though. I knew what I wanted. I listed it, and I let it sit. And it didn't even take that long to sell. Here's something cool that is like, they're so tiny, they're so not special, but they are official Nintendo 1990s. And this one's a Pokemon Jigglypuff. Jewelry stud earring, and it was on the card. I might have sold the necklace with this. I'm not sure. Or I might have sold that later on, like this month. I don't know. All stuff blends and melts. Anyway, I had a bunch of these. I took them to conventions. I took them to shows. Nobody noticed them. Nobody saw them. I was trying to sell them for like $10 or so. And I would have gladly sold it for that instead of having to take pictures and wait and stuff like that. You can see I had these, man, since November 2017. 2 years. And like I'm saying, I tried for maybe a year to sell them at flea markets. Finally, I said, screw it. You won't buy it from the flea market. I'll put it on eBay. I'll let it sit. And look at these things. $20. Not bad. So if you see these for cheap, I don't know where you'll find them, though. I mean, that's probably why I'm selling them. I'm probably the only guy that has them anywhere. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember. I was the only guy that had them anywhere. $20. Not bad, you know. Nonsense sells. And it's not really nonsense, but stuff that you can't, you think you'd be able to sell at a flea market or something if you were selling it cheap. And I wasn't able to, you know. But thank you, eBay. You're good for something. And that's the thing about eBay. If you notice, a lot of my sales, well, this month, a lot of them weren't long listings, but I generally have a lot of things that I've listed for a long time. I have over 1,200 items on eBay. So I have things that have been listed for years. Some things like decade, more than a decade, right? 10 long years before it sells. And that's the thing about eBay. You know, you're not on eBay you're going to make a lot of money real quick. If you're doing eBay, you're in for the long haul. And that's how you have to think about it. It's a long-term business. Unless you decide you're done with it, then you're doing it for life. All right. Here's just kind of a neato pair of vintage 80s long, chunky, mother-of-pearl, abalone, seashell pierced earrings. Marie thought they were cool. Couldn't sell them at the flea market. So she got $22 for them. Good till cancel, so it was a buy it now. Had them listed since May of 2018, so that would be, I don't know, like more than 6 months. January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, a little more than 6 months. $22. Keywords. They were not signed. Vintage 80s. Chunky, mother of pearl, abalone, seashell pierced earrings. That's it. Somebody saw the picture, liked them, said, I got to get those things on my ears, and bought them. All right, here's just a vintage. Anybody remember Vanna White? Well, apparently she made a eau de parfum spray. Somebody thought that people would like to smell like her. She's from that game show, right? The one with the words. Vanna White, eau de perfume spray, Home Shopping Club. Oh, I guess it's sold on the Home Shopping Club. 1.7 fluid ounces, 50 millimeters, 90% full. Got $40. Let's see how long it took to sell. About 2 years. September 28th, 2017. Perfume. Two of the things that I sell the most of, perfume and jewelry. This was a perfume sale. And that's how I'm ending the month. I'm just rounding it down. Another perfume sale. This one is a Tom Ford Black Orchid. Boy, I sold this one quick. I listed it. January 28th was the start time. And I think it sold within days. And I couldn't even see inside the bottle of this one because it was all black. But it's a Tom Ford Black Orchid Eau de Perfume Spray, 3.4 ounces, 100 millimeter. People are selling it new, and they were selling it for more than I was selling it. I couldn't see in the bottle. I shook it. It felt almost full. So I just said it how it felt. And then what I did was I weighed the bottle with contents. And then I posted the weight for people who might have had an empty bottle. So I said, look, you have an empty bottle in my description. Weigh your bottle. Then this is the weight of my bottle. That's how much I have in there. You know, so if their bottle weighed an ounce, right? And I said, well, my bottle weighs 4 ounces. That means I had 3 ounces of perfume, or the perfume. And yeah, so that was that. Quick sale. I could have gotten more for it, but I think I bought this with a bunch of perfumes for $70. So I was like, man, I got to sell stuff. So sometimes, if I see the way that I am, if I know something is a quick and easy sale at a certain price, yeah, I go for it. But a lot of times things have these weird, crazy price ranges. And I don't go with like the low on a crazy price range. Like if things sell between $20 and $100, I'm not listing it for $20. You know, I'll list it for like 80 or 90, you know, and I'll sell it when it sells. Here's another piece of jewelry. This was an unusual one. This is a vintage gold tone necklace with extra large damascene pendant, birds, and flowers. Damascene is that jewelry from Spain. Normally you see it in pins, and it has like a brushed gold look, and that's what this had. It was just like a brushed gold. It was pretty, and sometimes they have like an engraved design. It could be like black on like a brass that they just kind of engrave into, I think. Sold for $26.99. Listed since November 2018. Didn't take that long to sell. It was good to cancel, so we probably ran it to auction. Didn't sell. Marie probably ran it for $24.99. And what I do most times is if you don't buy it from me from auction, the price goes up. Sometimes it goes up a little. Sometimes it goes up a lot. So if I'm running an auction and you're interested, future buyers, buy it, because I don't lower the price if it doesn't sell at auction. Auctions, man, you go to an auction, this is how it works. Give me $100. Give me $100. All right, give me $50. Give me $20. Give me $10. $5. We start the bidding. $5. Anybody? $5. I got $5 there. Oh, $10. $15. $20. $20. $25. Anybody? $25? No. Nobody? $25. $20. That's how an auction works. You start low, and it goes high. Wait. Maybe. Oh, wait. Somebody. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see. I didn't say sold yet. Somebody's offering 30. It does go higher sometimes. Don't know. Maybe it'll sell for 100. But auctions start low, go high, you know, and buy it now should be higher, you know, just like it works when you list something to eBay. Auction, buy it now. Your auction price is lower, your buy it now price is higher. So that's how I work it. If you don't buy it from me, from auction, then you're paying more just for wasting my time or not finding it when I listed it. I want to sell everything right away. I don't want to hold on to anything. What do you think? I like looking at this stuff? No. You think I like having to find this stuff after it sells? It's like I know where it is before. I mean, when I list it, I know where it is. When I do, but then after 5 years it's been listed, then I got to go look for it. I go, where the hell did I put that goddamn thing? No, buy it right away. You make me happy. All right, moving on. More jewelry. Vintage Taxco Mexico sterling silver 925 knife spoon fork pin brooch. $32. You know what? It was kind of neat. Anybody that works as a chef or that's in the food industry might appreciate it. $32. Oh, you know what? I think we had it for more. And someone made an offer on it. We probably had it for I might have had it for $39.99. And when someone makes me a reasonable offer, I might have had it for $42.99, say. And if someone makes me a reasonable offer, around 25%, I most times will take it. But if someone goes like half, I'm like, nah, forget it. Sorry. I listed something on Facebook just now. And we listed it for $300. Oh, yeah. I got this really awesome Digsmed spice rack. And I think it's worth at least $300, right? At least $300, but shipping, work, fees, blah blah blah. So I don't really want to put it on eBay. So I put it on Facebook. Someone immediately offered $150, but I had it for $300. So I said, look, I just listed it. I don't want to go that low yet because I'm waiting. But if it takes too long, it's going on eBay, and then it's going to be like $500, and I don't care because then offer me like $4, but whatever. I think for some reason I'm stretching now. So let me just finish this up. $32. Someone made me an offer. It was good to cancel because everything I list at 32. I always list 99. So someone just offered me a flat price and I just took it. Jewelry, Taxco. Everybody likes Taxco jewelry. Besides the fact that it was Taxco, people just don't collect Taxco because it's Taxco. They have to also like it. Someone liked this design because it was spoon, knife, fork. All right. This was actually a pretty nice looking piece of jewelry. The last thing that I sold this month. It was a large vintage clear rhinestone hinge clamper bracelet with clip and a clip earring set. Now, first of all, it's really nice to have the earrings to go with the clamper. And this was actually pretty clean. All the stones looked kind of nice, good. No problems, no damage. Kind of an oldie type style, but it would work well, I'm sure, with a nice, with the right type of top or dress or whatever. And it would look pretty cool because it's kind of big bling bling. I'm sure anybody could wear it. You know what I mean? I know it's an oldish type style, but it was like big. You know, it wasn't like dainty. It wasn't like, oh, I just noticed you're wearing a bracelet. This is like, you know, if you hold it the right way, you could like blind people, you know, you could cause glare. Like if people are driving by and you like get the sun and, you know, they'll go off the road. But that's it. How long do we have this listed? Again, not an auction sale. Man, I don't even know if I had any auction sales this month. This was a buy it now. I should check and see. Good till canceled. $45.99 listed in December. So it took less than a month to sell. And why did it sell? Just because of what it was. It wasn't signed by any designer or anything like that. All right, that's it. That's all my sales. I don't know what I taught you this month. It's probably the same as, you know, last. Here's the things I usually can impass knowledge-wise off to you. If you're going to buy perfumes, buy old perfumes. If you're going to buy jewelry, buy signed jewelry. Everything else that you have to buy, make sure it isn't really heavy. Because if it is heavy, shipping is going to kill you. You're going to spend a lot for shipping because shipping is expensive. What I was doing, I know I'm like, what I was trying to do while I was talking right now was I was trying to see if I could quickly figure out how many of the things that I sold were from auction and how many were like buy it now sales. And I think I didn't have any. I don't think I sold anything in auction in January. It was all like buy it nows and sometimes right after the auction. Anyway, that's it. I believe, you know what? While I got you here, let's just see how I'm doing this month. Now, before I even check, I think that this month I'm doing better. And today's the 13th, which I said in the beginning, right? So that means I'm halfway into the month. So at the halfway mark, I'm going to check now and hope that I've made at least $1,000 so I could get towards my goal of at least $2,000 a month and whatever. And guess what? $1,000. $1,000. I'm like, I got my finger to my chin. I'm doing like Dr. Evil from, what's it? Oh my God, why can't I remember this? But I remember Dr. Evil with Mini-Me and the other thing and the spy who shagged me, that guy, Austin Powers. All right. I've actually sold this month, and it's not halfway through the month. So if this month progresses the same way as the first half of the month, then I should sell $2,000 worth of stuff this month. $1,000.32. Isn't that funny? And so far, I think, let me see if I can quickly see. I already know I sold an item for $100 this month. That's my biggest sale, I think. Nope. Wait a minute. My biggest sale this month is $125. And that was discounted from, I don't know, 160 or something like that. All right, anyway, hope you learned some stuff. I hope I was entertaining enough for you. And goodbye for now until next month when I'll do this again. Oh, no, I'll tell you next month. That'll be a surprise. Bye.